Okay, in this video today, we're going to show you how to make the phone stand for your box project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in all the elements first. So you've drawn your design on the card. So what we're going to do is we're going to replicate that piece of card with our work. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the width of the card. So let's just measure my bit of card. It's 70. So the width I'm going to type in here is 70. The height I know is 150. 50. The height is 3mm, sorry. And the length is 150. Okay, so that is the piece of card. So 150mm and 70 wide. So that's the maximum area you have got to work. So we'll just pop that into there, like so. Now, you've also got to be aware that the area that sits into the little box, okay, where it's got to fit into, is going to be 40 as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag another one into here, and I'm going to do the same thing again. So this time I'm going to do the height as 3, because it's 3mm MDF. The width again at double check, 70. Okay, and the length at 40. Now this will make sense in a minute when I change the color. So if I turn that to green, so put that like that. Okay, so that, looking at that like that, is this is the area you'll have to bend, and this would bend up and it'll make your phone stand. So what you can do is, if you want to, you can put that to one side, so over here, okay, as a template to help you see where you're designing and see the maximum sizes of things. Now, what you can also do with this is you can edit the grid to make it bigger. So I'm going to change that to 5 and change that to 5. So I've got some more space. I'll just pop that over here. I'm going to zoom in to here. I made that flat. Now it's easy because I'm going to be working on the flat area. Like so. I'm also going to increase the grid to 5mm because I'm working in round numbers, which means that when I move things, it's going to jump nice onto the blocks, and it just makes it easier when I'm designing, because these are all 5mm spacings. So that's correct. That's the fold line. That's the area there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just duplicate this, because that's really something I can't change, because it's got to fit into that area. So I'm just going to duplicate it to one side here. And then really this area above is the area that I've got to design in. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I could do a few things. So for my design, what I could do is I could potentially start creating it. So let's think about what we can create. Of course, you'd be working from a card model. So what I'm going to do is, I know the width is 70. So I'm going to put 70 here, like that. And I'm going to put it to, is that 70? Yeah, like that. Put it at the top, and I'm going to just drop that down to make it a little bit wider. And again, I'm going to work with the grid to make it easy. So I'm just going to duplicate that, and I'm going to leave a gap of 5mm between both of them. Okay, do the same again, duplicate it, leave a gap of 5, duplicate it, and then leave a gap of 5, like so. Okay, so you can see there I've got a back piece that I've designed. It's got gaps in it. Okay, make sure I'm going to put them all at 3. like so, because the material thickness is going to be 3 because it's acrylic, like that. I'm going to drop that down to 3 as well. Okay, top view, and I'm going to join all those together by simply putting a little bar through the middle. Okay, so remember with Tinkercad, it's almost like building your design up by using different shapes. It'll be quite difficult to cut it out of one thing. You could cut your shapes out of this to create your form, which I might show actually in a minute how to do. But also, it's just as effective to, build your design up like I'm doing. So go bit by bit and build it up. What I'm going to do here, that would join that. I'm going to reduce this top bit down by a little bit. Okay, because I've got an idea what I want to do with that as well. I'm going to bring the cylinder now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, again, make sure that I'm doing the same. So it's 70 by 70, because then that'll give me the same width as here. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut this in half. So the easy way to cut it in half is just basically find the halfway point, like that. Okay, to find the center, you can also do that, and you can go to your align tool and just, well, that's not correct, is it? 1 second, let's undo that. You can just find the halfway point, which is roughly there. And what you can do, remember, just get that, change that. So change that to that, and then we can just chop it in half. And again, I keep saying this, it's that case of just building a design up out of using different shapes. So this time I'm going to drop it down to 3, because everything will be 3. And all I'm doing is I'm just working from the top view, because that's the easiest view to work from. And then I'm going to put this on the top here. And what I might do is I might just get rid of that. I might just drop that in its place. Okay, like that. So I've got like a rounded top on my design as well. Like so. What I'm going to do then also is I'm going to join it all together, these pieces together, and join that. Okay, so it looks almost like a fishbone for my design. And remember, that's the area where it will be bent up. If you then wanted to go in do a bit more detail, you could do things like, just because I've got that there by chance, what I'm going to do is make that a little bit smaller. Okay, change that to yellow. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put it in here. What I might do is I might change the grid, because that's kind of like above and below the line. I'm just going to draw that down to, I wonder if 2 millimeters will work. Let's see if that's any better. No, that's where I wanted it. I want it in the center of that line. So if you look here, like so. Now I'm just going to make that a little bit taller so it stands up. And what I want to do is I want to get that in the middle of this. So click that, hold that down there and pop it in the middle. Okay. What I'm going to do as well now is I'm just going to get that, I'm going to duplicate it. Okay, move it into place. Again, just using the top view, nothing else. Same place there. And then duplicate it again. Now what's nice about the duplicating it in Tinkercad is that if you duplicate it a second time, it moves it into the same place. So now I'm going to just click that, move it down into here, and just literally pop that like that. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to remove those 2 shapes. And I've also then added another feature to my design. So you can see I'm just gradually building this up, taking things out, cutting things away as I go along. And what I could do as well is I could potentially add another feature. So I've just thought of something. So I can always go back and say, okay, I'm going to ungroup that. I'm going to ungroup that one. I'm going to copy this one. I'm going to move it out of the way. I'm going to use that for something. I'm going to regroup all these again. Okay, and then I'm going to just reduce this one down in size a little bit. Again, change that to clear. And I'm going to pop it in there. Make sure it's the right size, of course. So let's make sure that's on 0. Okay, top view. Still not high enough. Wonder why that is. Let's make it a little bit taller. Okay. And then let's move it into the center. So again, if I can't get in the center, what I'll do is I'll just click that, hold down Shift, click that, align it into the center, and then I'm just going to nudge it a little bit. Okay, and then what I'll do is I'll just drop it below, and I'll do the same thing again. Just remove. Okay, so again, that's given me another bit of feature of my design I've just taken that away. So when I'm happy with that as a design, I'm going to join these two together. I know that's the right place to bend it. Okay, doesn't matter, doesn't have to be separate. When I laser cut it, well, it has to be joined because otherwise it'll cut it in 2 pieces. So join that together, and now it's one shape. So then that can be laser cut out as the design for my phone stand. When you've done that, what you'd do is you'd highlight your design, you'd go export, SVG, and then save it into the Teams area.